So welcome back to Orchid House. I'm Olivier in windy Fort Lauderdale today, and I just want to show you how tall this plant is. This is Paraphalaenopsis labukensis. It's a plant from Borneo, the island of Borneo, which sits on the equator, so it's the ultimate tropical destination. So this plant in the wild, where it's endangered, is used to very hot and humid weather year round. Now these flowers are pretty big. I mean, they are like 8 centimeters across, or actually 9 centimeters across. They are absolutely beautiful in my opinion, and there's a lot of those right now. I think I have 15, and there's another spike here with another 4 or 5 buds coming. So this is actually, I mean, it can get a lot bigger than that. It could be between 6 and 12 feet from what I understand, so 2 and 4 meters. So we have still ways to go. I water it every day, so as you can tell, it's mounted. I water it every day. For 6 months of the year, I actually water it twice a day, and the only thing it really, I would not pot this. I mean, I think mounting is the best. While it needs a lot of moisture, it doesn't like to have wet feet, so it needs to dry out in between watering. But this dries out very fast. And the bulbs, I mean, if I touch these bulbs, they are rock hard. So this plant is extremely healthy and very happy. In terms of light, it gets a fair amount of light. I mean, it's very bright light. There's filter because of the screens above us, but I mean, overall this is exposed to a lot of light, and it's a hungry plant. So I fertilize it for most of the year, twice a week, weekly, so with half a dosage. It has a faint smell. It's supposed to smell like cinnamon. I honestly don't recognize cinnamon, but I'm not able to give it a name, so it's one of those fragrances that are tough to describe. But I think this is quite the plant. It's really beautiful. Now I want to show you this girl, which is actually a cross of Paraphalaenopsis labukensis, so this parent with another one which is called, I want to break these beautiful blooms here, which is called serpentilingua. And the flowers look very similar. They are a lot smaller though, they are half the size, and so is the plant. And there's a good reason for that. So there's only 4 species in the Paraphalaenopsis genus, and while labukensis is by far the largest, serpentilingua is the smallest of all. So crossing the two as a result gives you a much smaller plant, which is probably a plus for most people. I mean, everybody needs space. So that's good. The flowers are a lot smaller. That's probably not as desirable, and they really take after the labukensis, except maybe for the lip here. The tip of the lip is really like serpentilingua. It's not markedly different from this guy. Let me show you here, but it's still a more like a snake tongue, which is what serpentilingua means. And so that's probably the most contribution of the serpentilingua to this cross. So the official name of the cross is Nusantara. I think it's been recently recorded. Now, before I let you go, just some explanation. Paraphalaenopsis is a bizarre name. Initially, so there's only 4 species. Initially 3 were described as Phalaenopsis because of the structure of the flower. But then after many attempts to try and cross Paraphalaenopsis, which were Phalaenopsis, with real Phalaenopsis, they were never successful. They were incompatible genetically, and so that means they are really not close, and they shouldn't be called Phalaenopsis. So I think it's unfortunate that they decide to go with Paraphalaenopsis because it makes it sound like there is some level of parentage, which there isn't, but that's how it is. And so now labukensis was described much later in 1981. The renaming happened in 1963, so this one was always a Paraphalaenopsis, while the other 3 were initially called Phalaenopsis. Now if anyone knows how to get Paraphalaenopsis deneve, please mention that in the comment section. I've been looking for one forever. I cannot find it anywhere, including those Asian growers that have Paraphalaenopsis. Nobody carries Deneve, and I think it's really stunning, so I'd like to know. So that's it for today. Again, maybe another quick close-up, because these flowers are absolutely beautiful. And thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.